It's Nathan here. Um, with the NBA playoffs starting Monday, the thing is, if you're a Lakers fan, are you worried? Now, I know I'm going to hear a lot of people say they're number one seed, and they are. But since the restart, they've won 3 games. They beat the Clippers, they beat the Nuggets, and they beat the Jazz. Won 3 games since the restart. They're taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Portland's had to fight and claw to get even into the playoffs as an 8 seed. They have the bubble MVP in Damian Lillard. Uh, Now, I'm not saying that the Portland Trailblazers will win the series. I don't think they will. I think over a 7 game series, I think the Lakers are just too talented. They'll probably take game one. But if the Lakers play as bad as they've been playing, uh, they have to wake up. They haven't looked at themselves. People have been taking it easy, and I know there's a layoff. And I know it's a 4 months layoff, and there's a lot of talent on the Lakers. But you got to think if Portland come out blazing and probably take a game. Once they take 1 game, well, they can always take another one. And then if you take two, that gets harder. It's the NBA here. It's not like we're going to get a lot of 3-0 comebacks, and I don't think the Lakers are talented enough. All that talent, you expect them to maybe do it in 5. But if you're a Lakers fan, are you worried? Momentum's a weird thing. Momentum and losing is addictive. If you lose and lose and lose, well, there's no expectations. And it's not like you're playing in flood of LA. You're playing in Orlando. Now, it could be travel, it could be a lot of things. But if you're a Lakers fan, are you worried? Let me know in the comments below if you are. I thought it would be bigger, but yeah, it starts Tuesday. Does, the Lakers wake up and play well and win? Or do they let Portland just walk on over them? Are you going to have Damian Lillard at the end, as always, saying goodbye and waving goodbye to them? He's a playoff performer. He proved that last year. I mean, there's a couple players on the Lakers who've won, LeBron and Danny, but Danny Green hasn't been playing well. Not so far. They got to make it through the West. If they get through Portland, who's next? The Clippers. Uh, Nothing against the Clippers, but I don't know. I think the Lakers will do it. I think they're a good enough team to win, but they haven't been playing well. Uh, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they take 2 games, and once you take 2 games, well, what happens then? And if they lose, what is LA going to do with the media? I mean, we'll fire the coach. You can fire the coach, but you still have that team. You can trade players. I know Anthony Davis, I believe, is still on his 1 year deal. He hasn't resigned yet, but it's a lot of cap space. You really gotta buckle down and see what you can do. You're not trading LeBron. Um, I don't think you can. I don't think there's a way to even consider making that work. I'm sure every team in the league would be lining up to get him, but you can't trade LeBron. Maybe you can trade Danny Green. Maybe you can trade Kyle Kuzma. Maybe you can trade. I think Rajon Rondo's on the team. Maybe you can, find a way to make it work for Dwight Howard. But what do? You fire the coach if they don't make it. You fire the GM. Do you burn it down and rebuild? Is LA going to be standing? If the Lakers lose, it's going to be a massive riot in the streets and people breaking things. And LA has 2 teams. I mean, if they lose, fans in LA are going to hate LeBron because, well, you haven't won. You haven't won anything here. You haven't done it. Sure, you've had really great games, but you lost to the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers, not Boston or Milwaukee or a team, but you're losing to Portland. And if they lose 1 game, is the entire Twitter going to blow up and say we lost again? We can't win this many games. They lost 3 games since the restart. Port the Clippers they beat by a point, I believe, and they beat the Nuggets by 2-0. The Nuggets are a good team, don't get me wrong. But if they don't take it seriously, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I think the Lakers can do it in 6, but I'd be worried. Not because I think Portland's going to win, but if you win a game, you win 2 games, well, then it's harder. I don't think the Lakers can come back after 2 games down. Anyway, you all have a great day. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. And follow me on all the socials. They're down below. And hope you enjoy the basketball game. Bye.